Tale Podcast, how stories shape and change our lives. Thank you all for joining in. I hope you are all finding ways to be well and to do kind and compassionate things for yourself these days, these hard days that we're living in. Today, I want to talk about how we learn how to walk through hell. Myths and fairy tales are replete with visions of dark terrors and eternal realms where the dead are doomed to wander endlessly in either terror or despair. Many of our religious myths have created their own versions of foreboding afterlives that serve as a warning for the living to make wise choices while alive to preserve the integrity and sanctity of their very souls in the afterlife. But these stories, mythologically speaking, have much more to teach us about visions of hell as we carry them and walk through them and with them while we are alive, here on this earth. Read this way, our visions of hell are not so much literal places or realms of eternal torment and damnation, but rather states of being or states of mind that we find ourselves in from time to time throughout the courses of a lifetime. We all know how moments like this feel to us at an individual level, but today I want to talk more about what happens to us when we are experiencing such tumultuous times on a collective level. When entire civilizations are having to confront the brutalities of hell together. There's a Greek word known as apokalypsis, from which we derive the modern word apocalypse. The word itself directly translates into revelation or a lifting of the veil. It signals times of great transition and major upheaval on a grand or global scale. And as a species, we have endured many different moments of apocalypsis. While fundamentalist religious movements have popularized the notion of the apocalypse as a literal ending of the world, the original translation moves us back into the mythical, situational, and psychological realities of the term itself. Again, in many ways, it is an ending of the world, but more accurately, an ending of the world as we have known it. Again, each major epoch in human history that our species has experienced has been preempted by an apocalypsis event. None of us should have to invoke the language of partisan political rhetoric to be able to see that our species is currently in the throes of such an event as we speak. The overwhelming amount of fear, anger, hatred, pain, tribalism, and the glorification of unbridled power is so poisonously potent right now that we're all being slowly traumatized by it with each passing day. And while we could easily do a deep dive exploration into how all the different components of the individual human psyche, as well as the collective human psyche, are operating under such conditions, the purpose of this particular episode is to help us learn how to recognize, normalize, and safely express all of the different difficult emotions that we are having while trying to navigate the daily pain and confusion of all that is happening to us in our world. We must begin, as always, with connecting and reconnecting to the realities of who we are as a human species. Each individual human being is a collective of multiple parts, personas, voices, and inner stories that we all carry around with us throughout our lives. As such, we are capable of experiencing and expressing multiple emotions all at the same time. This diversity and multiplicity of who each individual human being is on a psychological level reminds us of our own inherent wholeness, and each wholeness contains by necessity the various parts which constitute the whole. Speaking out of our own wholeness, our own fullness, We show ourselves the greatest of care and compassion when we give ourselves permission to express openly, freely, and authentically each and every part of us that feels deeply and perceives our own experiences deeply. The ongoing work of wholeness in every human being is to learn how to make room and give voice to all of the parts of us that need expression, even when we find within ourselves different parts that may feel at odds with each other. Sadness, despair, and anger all have a voice at the table that must be acknowledged and expressed in response to Apokalypsis. So also do joy, gratitude, compassion, love, and play. All are genuine expressions of the human heart. All can be experienced as acts of resistance against cruelty and power. Creating a safe space within ourselves to express all of them whenever we feel them the most powerfully is how we show ourselves compassion, is how we build inner resilience, and allow some space for healing and recovery to occur, even if that space feels very thin right now. Creating a safe space for each other to do likewise is how we will survive such tumultuous times as a species. This is how we walk through hell. Those that wish to strip us of all of our humanity and render us powerless to resist their evil and cruelty want us to become fragmented and to remain fragmented. To preserve our own wholeness is not only an act of compassion, it is in itself an act of resistance. So protest, speak out, act where you can, make your own voice known where you can. Be loud, don't be silent. Don't forget also to reserve moments to express your grief, your sadness, your heartache, even your despair. Don't forget to express your deep love and gratitude for yourself, your loved ones, and your allies. Make space for all of it, because this is what makes us human. And staying human, refusing to let anyone strip us down of our own humanity, is how we walk through hell and eventually see ourselves out together. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Be well, take care of yourselves, be kind, be courageous, be compassionate. Together, we'll walk through this and we will survive it. Until next time.